Hi class, my name is Dora Memije-Varela. I'm hoping to be my last semester at Cal State Fullerton, graduating hopefully next year in May and walking on the stage. My major is sociology. I chose this major for many reasons. One of the reasons is, or the main reason is like I like to perhaps become someone that helps the communities in need. I wanted to go a social work route, but I felt that social work does have a lot of secondary trauma. Sometimes I feel like I get too invested on things. One of the words that I can think of myself as being passionate things that I do. So that came social work became like not my first option, and then I look into sociology and I see so many things that we could do. I'm hoping to work in a place where I can be a resource person, like a resource center. I'm hoping to help people in need, communities, immigrant communities, marginalized communities, male women, elderly. So I'm hoping to become like a resource person, work at a resource center perhaps, or maybe like a case manager sort of thing where I can help people get resources, whether it's food, healthcare, housing, something to that extent. So that's my goal, my personal goal. My family is from Mexico. We immigrated here to United States in the year 2000. I am a product of two immigrant parents, Mexican parents, and I have two younger siblings. I'm the eldest daughter, eldest person in the family. I'm also married. I do have my husband, and I also have a 13-year-old son. Things that I feel like it represents me, or I like to be remembered, someone who's outspoken, sincere, and passionate of the things that I do. The one thing that I also think, and it's not just myself, but everyone who is an immigrant that comes to this country, it's also resilient, that I like to think, for so many reasons. Like people leave their lives behind to come to United States and get a better life. Perhaps for their family, for themselves, to do an investment on themselves. So that's a lot of things of children of immigrants do here. And what's one of the topics that I also wanted to talk about is how resilient these people are, or we are. And that touches part of one of the concepts that in the Corsaro books talks about, which is the English broker children, which is one of the things that it really caught my attention on it, because I didn't really saw the extent of, wow, like this is all we do. Like I knew that, but I guess it emphasized or reiterated all that we did as children, or when I was younger as well too. As mentioned, my parents came here. My dad got here first, and then my mother and brothers came here, and eventually I came here myself as well. Before United States, when we lived in Mexico, in my life was, and even as the first child, they cater a lot of things. Their attention was all of me for the first 5 years of my life. Then and it's reasonable as the family grew. It changed a little bit. So before the first 5 years of my life, I would attend to soccer practice, basketball practice, after school activities, church choir. So I was really involved with the community as well in Mexico. And once my brothers were born, obviously that time that my parents had just for me to take me here, take me there, it was a little bit different. So it was that time was shared with my brothers as well. Now we still practice or try to do family things together, such as, hey, we're going to go practice together soccer for your brother and then your sister, and then kind of at the same time. So it's kind of like sharing that time that we had. So we were more involved in activities in Mexico. So it does changes from time to time, right? So before Mexico and then after Mexico. So before United States, I should say, we had more activities going on. When we came here, everything changed, obviously for many reasons. First thing is, like in Mexico, my mom was a stay-home mom, so she had more time for us to like help us with home and stuff like that. And then when we came here, she had to work as well, so she became, both of my parents work at the point. And I had to step in with new responsibilities as an older sibling. One of those things where helping my brothers with their homework, caring for them, because my dad at a point had two jobs when we were younger. So I basically took the parental, I guess, role for both of them. So I was, I think, 12. So my brother was probably like, do the math, like nine, I think. I remember, sorry, 9 to 10, 7. So it was like taking care of younger children, obviously making sure that they were doing the homework, etc. Which it reveals that we become support system as English brokers over parents, right? We become the support that they trust us to do or help them with things that generally parents do for their kids. And nothing wrong with that. I didn't see anything as they doing something wrong. It was more of, I saw it as like, that's my job to help, and that's the bare minimum that I could do for them, because they're giving me all these things in return, you know. I think they saw, or coming here to United States, like anybody else that comes here to United States, as an investment, the country of opportunities, which that is the case for us, right? So their investment was us, and for us, and for me, they invested in me. So now I'm trying to, minimum, I guess, way that I could do that is helping them with translation and documents. As mentioned, as English brokers, as the book says, we are the definition of immigrant youth, translators, interpreters that help their parents to bring communication, or a bridge to communicate with the world of their non-native language, right? So it became new responsibilities, as mentioned, as an educational wise, medical assistance, financial, even job applications, everything that I was doing for my parents. I didn't see that as a job. It was more of like, oh, I can do that. I became the resource person, I say, without me even thinking that because I guess in a way kind of forced, but I guess like I kind of like stepped in for that. This emphasizes many things, like, I guess, as mentioned, I would help, and up until today I still have my parents with those documents, and even when I'm like an hour away and my younger siblings are still like close to them, they still come to me, and I feel like trusted, and that makes me happy. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. As a matter of fact, I feel like I help them, and that makes me feel better, like I'm supporting them in a way, right? Another topic that I also wanted to touch bases is basically the social media, or the media usage that we use in our children, and even adults as well. As we can tell, things are changing in the way that media, phones, electronics, such as computers, tablets, even artificial intelligence, have become part of our daily lives. A lot of people think, hey, this is wrong, we're depending too much on it, which I kind of agree, but it also, at the same time, it also opens so many doors, so many, I guess, resources, many things that we could get from it if we use it correctly. It also became a expression for many children. That's a lot of people make friends. I see on my son how he communicates with his friends, like doing VR things, where like I would have never thought, right? He wears his headset and talking at the same time, talking to his friends in another city, like at least 50 miles away, right? So I'm like here thinking, it's like, whoa, that's crazy, but it's also a way of communicating with their friends, online chatting. Obviously, the way I see of these children that are usually really shy, that they have a way to express their emotions when they're not really good in person. So I think it's a good thing. However, obviously, there's so many downsides when there's also child predators out there. So we have to be careful and manage the time. The one thing that really caught my attention is how much time we use or depend of these media, like cell phones, cellulars, social networking, even myself, recent experience, like I applied to this new job, and a couple years of my current job, it's been a year and a half right now, and now it's like the interview was just a completely interview. It wasn't even a person interviewing me. It was just like a recording, answer a question, and then just send it over, right? So all those things that we're doing, using artificial intelligence, like summarizing now calls, like we don't even have to type. So that's another thing. The thing between influencers and peers, they're both equally important for both our children. Family provides foundation, values, and security, and peers provide testing ground, share ideas, basically help you to, I guess, challenge your opinions. And I believe both are equally supportive, and we need both of these in our children's life to support and guide our children to become a better person.